Hi everyone. The DJI Air 3 just got released and I went ahead and bought me one as soon as I could. I'm kind of excited to fly this guy, but I want to cover with you essentially the box opening and go through some of the features, as well as doing a comparison of what I have today, which is my DJI Mini 3 Pro and my Mavic 3. I'll also kind of cover a little bit about the comparisons of this Air 3 with the Air 2, which is the one I had before, along with the Air 2S, some of the things about the Air 2S as well. Nothing really scripted in this. This is kind of a quick box opening, but like I said, I'm just excited to share this with you guys, and let's look into what's in the box. Taking out that little green tab that's there. So get that out of the way. Now, right off the bat, what I really like about this new bag here is that they changed the color. I definitely like this nice dark gray color. It's similar to what the Mavic 3 bag is like. It's not a backpack, but it's just a shoulder bag. The material is kind of like a denim coated type material, that it looks like it would be water resistant or actually waterproof. And the bag, the material on the top is not coated, but it's got a nice texture to it. It's a really nice bag. I'm actually impressed with this bag. Nice simple strap, a little piece here to hold it in place. Very nice quality. I definitely like this bag a lot. I'm going to be using this one for sure. And it's got a nice soft pad here for the shoulder. Pretty good bag overall. It's got a handle in the back, which is kind of nice, and I think this is probably multi-purpose, not just a handle, but maybe possibly for carry-on luggage as well, maybe. And there is a pocket here in the back, just so you know, which is kind of nice. I don't see any pockets on the side. I wish it did have some side pockets, because that sometimes does come in handy, but not in this bag here. But hey, that's okay. Pretty good overall. Man, this is nice quality. And I do like this latch here, the way it locks in. You got to pull down and then lift. So it does secure it pretty good. Let's see what's inside the bag itself, because I am just excited to see what's in here. Oh, I do like this material here. It's kind of like a mesh, but it's a very different kind. I've never seen it this type of material. I've never really seen this kind of material. Here's your typical DJI documentation, which, you know, if you have the chance, read it. And there is a USB-C to USB-C cable that comes with it, which is kind of nice. And other things that are in here, we got a pouch of some goodies here. Looks like the propellers. And inside the bag here, we also have the RC2 controller. We'll kind of cover a little bit about that as well here. And whoa, this is a charging hub. We're going to talk about this big boy too. Very different than what you normally get with the other drones. So, and of course, we're going to cover here some details. We're going to cover here what is in this bag as far as drone. And here's the bag here. There's one little pocket on this side. The material inside is kind of a leather-like synthetic material, but it's very nice. I do like that. These flap here does move around. It is Velcroed here. And inside, this may have been for shipping, but it's kind of handy. This, I think I'll probably keep this in the bag. It's to protect the gimbal part of the drone when you put that in there. So it might be something that was used during shipping, but I'm definitely going to keep that in the bag because that does add some additional protection there for your drone. So again, I like the bag. Very nice bag overall. Nice quality material. Definitely very nice material. So this is definitely something good to keep. And let's go ahead and go through some of these things here that came in the bag. I think I'll start with the Propeller bag here. Let's go ahead and see what we've got here. So this bag comes with a total of 12 props, 6 right, 6 left. I think it's 6A and 6B, what they're labeled. Or may not be. One's labeled B. Yeah, 6A and 6B. So it comes with 6 pairs of propeller. Well, not 6 pairs. I take that back. So it comes with a total of 12 propellers, which is a total of 3 sets. One, of course, that's going to go on the drone itself. And then you'll end up with some spares there. So this bag is pretty much just all propellers. So that is what you've got in this guy here. And let's look and see what, before I get to the other good stuff, let's see what's in this bag. So what we've got here, there's a total of 3 batteries that are here, and with a charging hub. And from the looks of it, of course, usual, if you look here, they're not charged. You do have to charge them. I'm going to charge all 3 just so I have them ready to make use of them. Now it looks like it's hard to get these out, but the trick here is there's a button in the back here that you press and it lets you release that. So if you're trying to figure out how to pop these out, and in fact I think here's the instructions right here as well on how to eject the battery from the actual charging hub. Now this charging hub is crazy big. It is very big. Looking at it compared to the Mavic 3, this is how big this guy is. That is one humongo charging hub. Now there's some pluses to this. One of the things I think why it's a large charging hub is because unlike the Mavic 3 batteries, and of course these are totally different design altogether with the Air 3 compared to the Air 2S and the Air 2, in that they're very similar to what you have with the Mavic 3 as far as batteries. So here's my Mavic 3 battery compared to the Air 3 battery. Now the contacts for the battery are up here at the top, or I should say the outer part of the battery, whereas in the Mavic 3 they're actually on the inside. So that I think is one of the reasons why this charging hub is so large, is that is how you would set them up. Of course you probably could make a charger like this one here, but I think it's probably wouldn't keep the batteries in place. It probably kind of wobble around. But in any case, this is a very big charging hub that I think, is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? It's either or. One of the nice things about this charging hub too that I heard is that when you've got all 3 batteries, if you got one that has, let's say, 60% charge and the other one's got less than that, the ones with the lesser charge will charge the one that has the most charge, which is kind of nice because if you got a battery and you're kind of out in the field and you can't charge it, you can press on the function button here and actually get these 2 batteries to charge the one. That's going to give you some additional flight time. I think that's kind of good overall. That's a pretty good feature of this charging hub. So again, very big, and even without the batteries, it is it's not heavy. It is kind of light. The biggest thing is just gonna be that it's bulky. But you know, is it a bad thing? No, I think it's kind of cool. I do like it. You know, kind of looks very similar to what the Mini 3 Pro has as far as the charging hub is concerned. Oh, and by the way, so you have the USB-C to USB-C to USB-C cable that you can use to charge your batteries on this charging hub. Now, the charger itself, you don't get the charger with this guy. So you're gonna have to buy, as an option, a 65 watt charger. Now I've got this from my Mavic 3, or I should say I bought this for my Mavic 3. So I'm just gonna use this one for my Air 3 as well. There also is a 100 watt charger that you can buy. It is on the pricey side. Of course, this one's just as pricey, but you have the option of getting the 100 watt charger, which should charge this faster than the 65 watt charger. But in any case, the charger is an optional thing, so it doesn't come with it. But again, like I said, you could use it to charge this and simultaneously charge the RC2 controller as well, which I'll go ahead and cover right now. But in any case, great charging hub, little bulky, but hey, I'm not concerned about it. I think it's a good thing. I like it. It works for me. Let's go ahead and talk about the RC2 controller. Now, I don't normally buy, there is just, you know, there's another controller you can get as either a Fly More combo or with the drone and the controller itself. There's the RC-N2, which is the traditional remote that you can get with the drone that actually you can use your phone with it. I don't like using the phone myself. I kind of like this because it's an easier way to just turn it on and you're ready to fly. So that's one of the reasons I do like having this controller here as opposed to getting the RC-N2 controller, which is the one that uses the phone. But you know, that's one of the things that you can decide on which one do I want to get. Now, like I said, if you don't want to have to bother with connecting your phone, this is probably the better option. Now let's look at what's different about this guy compared to the one that comes with the Air 2S and with the Mini 3 Pro. So this is the one that, again, is the version 1, I guess, of the controllers. And I'm looking here at the joysticks, by the way. And it's the same kind of stick that goes with the original RC controller. Again, this is for the Mini 3 and for the Air 2S. I've got it for my Mini 3 Pro, of course. And it looks like it's the same sticks here. I do have some spares, so I'm glad that it's the same because I can keep my spares for either or, so which is great. There is a difference in color between the two. Here's the Air, again, the first version, and this is the RC2. Definitely it's got a little darker color, which is kind of nice. I like that. It kind of helps you differentiate between the two. Now the thing that makes it look different, of course, is the fact that you've got antennas on this here, which is kind of nice. I do like the fact that they went with external antennas. I always wondered why they didn't with the first version. And I've heard that there's some signaling, not issues, but there's a limitation because the antennas are not external. You know, again, I don't fly mine that far. Typically I'd be doing line of sight, but in any case, I do hear that this one has a limitation, and I think it's probably because it doesn't have the external antennas. Another difference here between the two is on the first version, they have, I guess it's like a metallic wheels here for your gimbal as on this, from what I could tell. And on this one here, I don't know if it's plastic or if it's kind of like a rubber texture. As far as the feel, I would say definitely I've got more feel with the new RC2 as far as the wheels here for the gimbal. and that's not too bad. I kind of like that. But other than that, it looks the same. Of course, in the back, you've got the sticks that store away in the bottom here, or back. It looks like here on the heat dissipation piece, I don't know if it's a fan inside, but it does have this here on the old version. It's got it in the middle. It's here at the bottom. It does have little 2 screws here for some accessories. On the back here, now in the original RC, from what I can tell, it looks like they have a cover on this one for the micro SD card, and the USB-C, of course, is not covered. But on the newer one, they don't have that cover on there. I guess that could be a good thing, bad thing, as far as like protecting from moisture. Of course, I wouldn't be flying my drone in the rain, but that is one thing that is different there. Screen size, from what I can gather, they look identical. There's definitely some slight design differences, very, very slight, but overall it just looks pretty much close to each other. And I'm trying to think if there's any other things I want to cover about the controller itself. Oh, one thing to note. So in the Mini 3 Pro, Air 2S, Mavic 3s, we're looking at, or actually more the Mini 3 Pro and the Mavic 3. It uses OcuSync 3 for signaling. And in the new Mavic Air 3, we're looking at the OcuSync 4.0. So it's new signaling, goes further. So definitely that is a kind of a good thing if you're looking at comparing the two. The one thing to keep in mind about that is that with OcuSync 4, you're not going to really be able to use this drone. From what I'm seeing, you can't use this drone with the older controllers because of the fact that this is OcuSync 4.0, and of course you want to take advantage of that capability. And I don't think, from what I gathered or from what I've looked around, there might be a compatibility issue with this. I don't know for a fact right now at the moment. But in any case, if you're buying the Air 3, you're going to go with the RC N2 using your iPhone or other phone, or you go with the RC2 controller, which is what I have. So again, the sticks and everything looks the same as what's in the original RC controller. So again, if you have spares, I think that's kind of a good thing. But yeah, overall, this looks pretty good. You do have some function keys on the bottom like the other one. So like I said, pretty much close to the same. Key things is OcuSync 4.0, and of course, having the external antennas and having the wheels in here in the bottom as not being metallic, but being more, again, I can't tell if it's plastic or, yeah, it's kind of a plastic type material from what I can tell. Anyway, so that is one other piece of that. Now we're going to get to the very exciting part of this thing here. So let's open this guy up. Wow, very nice. I really like this. Even with the battery, definitely this is kind of light, not very heavy. Definitely, I like the quality that DJI puts into their drones. From what I can tell here, it definitely has smaller arms, or I should say thinner arms, than the Air 2, Air 2S. And I think that kind of helps with the performance, overall performance. Very similar to what the Mavic 3 is like. The other nice thing too is the color is a little bit darker as far as the gray color. Pretty nice overall. This is really impressive. Definitely very nice. So looking at this, definitely they did a nice job. Now the one thing I notice here is on the cover here, if I can figure out, how to undo it. Yeah, that's it. So unlike the gimbal protector that comes with the Mavic 3, this one is pretty good overall. It's essentially just plastic. It's not like the Mavic 3, which is the big cover that it has. It is very similar to what is in the Mini 3 Pro, just a simple little plastic cover. Now, one thing I do like about this drone is if you look here, what we've got is two lenses here. This is a 24mm lens, the main lens here, and you've got a 70mm lens. These are pretty nice overall. If you're wanting to get some filters, there are some ND filters you can buy through DJI. Of course, that's a optional item. I did purchase mine. I'm waiting for mine to get delivered. As far as removing them, it's very similar to what you would do with the Mavic 3 and the Mini 3 Pro. It's just a matter of twisting this here and taking it off. So it would come off like this. So that is pretty good. And then again, as far as putting them back on, it's kind of the reverse of that. And then you've got it there. So pretty nice gimbal. When you do get this initially, keep in mind there is a piece of foam in here that you got to take out. Of course, it is kind of noted with that little yellow tab there, but you want to take this guy. I think I'm going to save this guy in case I need it for travel or something, just to secure the gimbal that much more. But it's pretty cool anyways. Sensing cameras. You've got two in the front, two in the back here. And of course, you've got the ones that come in the bottom as well, which is kind of a cool feature. LED there, or for the light. And let's see here what else we've got. You've got your battery that goes here in the back. Comes off like that. Pinch it, pull out. There it is. So this is your third battery that comes with it on the Fly More combo kit. Pretty nice. On the omnidirectional sensing cameras, one thing to note, it is a fisheye lens. That's one difference between the Air 2S and the Air 3, is that they do have a fisheye lens on this, which is kind of nice. That's what gives it that full coverage all around, which is kind of nice compared to the previous one. And it's definitely adds to the capability of the obstacle avoidance. From what I've seen, it's supposed to be really good, and I can't wait to try that out in the field. So that'll be my next thing to do. Down here you do have some feet here as well. You know, it's a traditional, you got your feet in the front, and of course the feet are here at the bottom. As far as the key features about this, again, like I said, you've got a dual camera, which is a 24mm wide angle, along with the 70mm camera. You also have the capability of doing vertical video. It's at 2.7K. The other things to look at here is on both those cameras, they do have 48 megapixel capability. Unlike the DJI Air 2, which is about 20 megapixel, this is 48 megapixels. Now, it's not a full sensor, but you know, in any case, you're going to get some pretty good videos overall. It is a no crop 4K 60 frames per second capable video camera, as well as doing the slow motion video like 4K 100 frames per second. It's not a 120 frames per second, which is to me more of the standard, and why they went with a 100 frames per second, I don't know offhand. There might be a reason to it. Maybe they might change that later on down the line with a firmware update. It's hard to say, but for now it is capable of doing up to 4K at 100 frames per second. So the battery life is about 46 minutes. Realistically, it's probably around 32 minutes. You know, it depends on what you're doing, but that is the battery life on this guy. Compared to the Air 2S does about 31 minutes for its battery. So definitely that is an upgrade from the Air 2S to the Air 3. The build on this drone, again, like I said, it's very similar to I'll move some stuff here so I can compare. So the build is very similar to the Mavic 3. I mean, the overall look. There are some differences between the two. Oh, one thing to note about this guy, I don't have the propellers here right now, but these little notches here are for the propeller. So when you fold in the propellers, it's going to essentially just kind of tuck there on the side. There is nothing to hold the propellers at the bottom, but I'm hoping I can probably find some new optional products I can look for to wrap the propellers together like I do with the Mini 3 Pro. I'm hoping Start RC comes out with something like this. If not, some other vendor might hopefully eventually come out with something similar to this, which is just a strap essentially to hold the propellers in place. But in any case, that's pretty good overall. As far as weight differences between these guys, and in fact, let me do this so we can kind of go through the differences here of the drones that I have along with the Air 3 here. So if we look at the differences here, very small, medium size, very big here. Weight wise, like I said, on the Air 3, you're looking at about 720, 722 grams. On the Air 2S, which I don't have, but on the Air 2S and the Air 2, you had weighed about 595 grams. It's about 130 grams difference, somewhere on the line of that, but that's the difference. It did go up in weight. It also went up in actual size. It is a little bit bigger than the Air 2, but it's still smaller, obviously, than the Mavic 3. So that's another thing that's different here. Another thing to note on the OcuSync 4.0 that the drone is capable of doing, unlike, again, the OcuSync 3.0 that's on the Air 2S and on the Mini 3 and the Mavic 3, is that with OcuSync 4.0, you can actually go up to 20 kilometers with that OcuSync 4.0 compared to the Air 2S. On that one, I believe you could go about 12 kilometers with the signal. So what makes it go further, it's, I think, partly it's the OcuSync 4.0 as well as having external antennas on the controller itself. So definitely that's another plus on the Air 3 that I do like. Key features on this drone, just like the Mavic 3, it does have the active track, spotlight, and point of interest focus tracking, which is kind of nice. It is also improved. The focus tracking is improved because of the obstacle avoidance that comes with this drone here, the Air 3. So that's another thing to look at. I think that's pretty much it. As far as accessories for the Air 3 itself, the things that are available today that I know is there's a ND filter pack, which again I just ordered. You do have an optional charging adapter that you can get, which is a 65 watt, or you can go with 100 watt as well. There's also micro SD cards you can buy with DJI or any other place. Again, buying this Air 3, it does come today in 3 packages that you can buy it as. You can either buy the Air 3 with the RC N2 controller, which is the one that you would put the phone on and kind of connect with the cable. Now the cost on that one's about $1,099 up on DJI at the moment. The other option is the DJI Air 3 Fly More combo with the RC N2 controller, and that price on that one is about $1,349. And the one that I purchased, which is this one with the RC2 controller, that one comes to about $1,549. On the Fly More combo, is it worth buying it like with all the extras? I think it is. The price difference between getting let's say the DJI Air 3 RCN2, versus the Fly More combo with the RC2 controller is about $549, but you are getting the RC2 controller with the screen, and you are getting the charging hub along with 2 additional batteries, which gives you 3 batteries overall, which is why it's called Fly More combo. And you also get some extra propellers just in case, you ever have a mishap and your propellers get damaged, or something like a bug or something damages the propellers. You've got yourself some extra propellers. So there you have it. That is what's in the Fly More combo with the DJI Air 3 and the RC2 controller. Is it worth the money to buy this? That is kind of a preference thing. I think it is worth the money because of the quality of the Air 3. I definitely think it is it's a good investment overall. And if you are looking for a drone and you're not sure what you want to get, if you haven't flown one at all, it's one of those things we have to kind of decide. If it were me, this is just me, I originally started with the DJI mini drone, and that was kind of my starting point into kind of getting into flying these drones. And then I kind of jumped into the Air 2, and then eventually upgraded to the the Mavic 3 drone. But if you're wanting to find something midpoint, I would say that the Air 3 is a good investment. As far as what you want to get with this, again, it's a budget thing. Can you afford to buy it with the RC2 controller? Well, that's something that you can consider. Personally, as far as in my case, I like the ease of just, again, turning this on, turn on my drone, get them to connect together, and we're good to go. So that's, and I've done I've used the RCN2, or not the RCN2, but its previous version of that controller, RCN controller. And I used it with a phone, and I kind of it was just too much for me to deal with, too many parts to deal with. If you're kind of out there flying and taking it out of the bag and having to connect stuff, that's kind of one of the reasons why I always look for getting the controller with the screen. So that's kind of a preference thing there. But again, if you're getting into just flying the drones, this is a really good one. If you want to make the investment, you also have the option of going with a Mini 3 if you want. So again, it's kind of a preference thing. In my case, one of the things I'm going to really be targeting with this one is having to deal with the wind. Not that this drone can't handle the wind, the Mini 3 Pro, but it's something that I do see that this guy would be really good about. I still like my Mavic 3. It's one of my favorite ones because of its size, of course. There's a newer one than this one, the Pro, but I'm just as happy with my Mavic 3, which is also, it comes with 2 cameras here on the gimbal, which is nice too. I do like the one with the 3 cameras on the new Mavic 3 Pro, but I'm staying with my Mavic 3 just because I like that. But for most of my travels, I'll probably be targeting this guy to see how this does, the Air 3 itself. Again, definitely I like the lightweight. Definitely will be good in my backpack. It's a little bit lighter than the Air 3, which is about 895 grams versus 720 grams. Every gram makes a difference, obviously. So I definitely look at that. Again, it's a preference thing. I think it's a good investment. It's really good. I like it. I'm glad I bought it, and I look forward to flying this. And I hope that in this video, this kind of helped you kind of see what you're getting with the combo, getting to see what you're getting as far as the drone is concerned. Very good quality. I think it's worth the money. As far as technology is concerned, DJI's been known for pretty good technology overall. The obstacle avoidance, the cameras, pretty much everything. The motors, the performance, the distance capability of these drones, everything is really good as far as the DJI technology is concerned. I'm pretty impressed with, again, overall DJI's technology. And whether you got Mavic 3, the Mini 3 Pro, or this one, definitely they've got a lot of good technology into it. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty good investment overall. But anyways, again, I hope you do benefit from this video. Please don't forget to click on the like, and also If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It does help me with my stats in YouTube. And again, thanks for watching this video, and have a good day.